on the John Fredericks Radio Network. Great to have you back again. We're with Don Carey. Don is running for city council in Chesapeake. This is a nonpartisan race, but he is running with the support of the Republican Party of Chesapeake. Basically, that's run by Shirley Forbes when it gets down to it. And he is with us now, former NFL player. Don, great to have you with us.
Hey, John. How you doing, sir?
All right. Now, you're from the area, right? Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, where you went to college in the area, and why you're back here in Chesapeake.
Sure. So I'm from Norfolk. I went to Booker T. Washington High School. The first college campus I stepped on was Norfolk State University, and I was blessed to accept a full scholarship there. Became the first person in my family, actually, to go to college. Played all 4 years. Football, and was the first player drafted in the NSU Division I era.
Mm-hmm. And you were drafted by Cleveland, as I remember. I was drafted by Cleveland, but I was there long enough to cough. You know, I had a shoulder injury, and they sent me down to Jacksonville, which is probably the best move for my career. So I played 2 years in Jacksonville, and then played 8 years in Detroit. Wow! So long NFL career. You're a cornerback, defensive back, and played with the Jags, and then I think you ended your career with the Lions.
Yeah. I played in Detroit 8 years.
8 years. Okay, excellent.
Yes.
All right, so now you're retired, right, from Norfolk State. You had a pretty solid career in the NFL. I mean, 10-year veteran NFL football. Reality, Don, you're in the elite of people that having reached that status. It's such a short career. Why on earth? I mean, all the things you got to do in your life, why on earth would you run for city council in Chesapeake, Virginia, which, by the way, is where I live? Like, why would you do that?
Well, that's a simple question that requires a very long answer. But suffice to say, while I was in the NFL, I was always heavily involved in communities. My wife and I have established a nonprofit organization that was very impactful in helping to turn around Detroit up there. So I believe that public service, that service to community, service above self, is extremely important. Secondly, if you look at the heart of the founders when they founded our great country, I call it the Venn diagram between American conservatism and faith, and those things lie squarely within the Republican Party. So for me, I think we need more individuals who fit within that Venn diagram of conservatism and faith, who run for local office to help continue the greatness of our country.
Yeah, but I mean, look, it's not like you're running for Congress or something. You're running for. I mean, you're going to be sitting on like zoning committee meetings, determining, whether somebody can get a license to expand a fence in the backyard. I mean, those are things you guys do on city council, right? Whether what you're going to build in South Chesapeake and what's on a road going past Hickory. I mean, I just, for the life of me, cannot understand why somebody of your stature would want to get themselves involved in that.
Got you. And I look at it as more than just sitting on a committee, going over zoning, regulations or taxation or things of that nature. Your city council is the first touch of government for a lot of citizens. So I see it as me doing life with the constituents of Chesapeake and helping them to get to the level of success that I've gotten through means of government.
Mm-hmm. All right, Don, tell me about, okay, I get kind of the big picture, and I get the fact you want to give back, and, it's always a competitive race in Chesapeake. It looks like now the voting is going to be delayed for 2 weeks, so it went from, May 9th to May 23rd, right?
May 5th to May 19th.
Yeah, May 5th to May, that's right, I'm sorry, May 5th to, I'm thinking about the primary in June. That went to June 23rd. So it went to May 5th to May 19th. That means, look, if you're concerned about voting or something, go with an absentee ballot. You can go through the proper channels. I already got mine, sent it in. The ballots are going to be counted. I think Northam wanted to scrap them and go to November. Chap Peterson squashed that. Not going to happen. And they would have to have a special session to put this election off. That's not going to happen either. There's not enough time. So this election is going to be May 19th. Done deal. That's in about 3 weeks, and it'll be in person or absentee balloting. So, Don, I kind of get the big picture, right? Why you want to run for Chesapeake City Council, give back to the community. I get that. What are some of the things specifically on City Council that you want to get done that are not being now? What changes do you want to make? What's your top priorities?
Yeah, so firstly, I want to piggyback on the absentee voting. So for the individuals who are worried about their, health concerns or things of that nature, please take advantage of the ability to vote absentee. Absentee ballot applications have been extended until May 12th. Right, so we have plenty of time to put in your application. It typically takes 2 to 3 days to receive your ballot via mail. And my wife and I, we actually voted via mail. And it was a seamless process. You're able to look up the candidates. There are no lines. There are no health or safety concerns. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. So for me, I think the important thing on City Council is to protect the gains we made in Chesapeake. We're the 6th safest city in the country. All of our schools are 100% accredited. But I would like to assist the City Council in being a little more strategic in our development and our growth. I'm trying to be intentional on where we develop, where we grow, to kind of alleviate some of the traffic concerns we've had and the things of that nature.
Well, Don, give me a specific when you say you want to limit some of the sprawl, if you may, in Chesapeake. Just give us one specific of what you would do differently than what is being done now. Give me one thing that I can put my arms around here.
Sure, awesome. So in terms of growth, Chesapeake, I've been saying this for a while. Chesapeake is 57 years old, but she's still trying to decide what she wants to be when she grows up. And I don't necessarily think the founders of the city, when they were founding the city, had in mind that we would be the second largest city in the state, one of the best ran economies in the country. And with all of that success comes a lot of growth, right? So you have families moving into Chesapeake, businesses wanting to move into Chesapeake. It is incumbent upon your local elected officials to have a mindset or the wherewithal to know, okay, we have all this growth coming in. We have to have a plan so that we don't have traffic jams of load, not so much capacity of traffic. So by that, I'm talking about maybe like the Volvo area. Volvo is a traffic jam, not so much because of the capacity that goes through it, but its ability to handle the load. I mean, there's only a 2-lane highway, but 2-lane streets, right? So for future development, it's incumbent upon your sitting council members to be able to say, hey, we're anticipating a lot of growth. We would like to steer it in this area. Let's begin to set the proper infrastructure in that area to handle the load that's going to come there.
All right, that makes sense. Let me ask you about, we're with Don Carey running for City Council of Chesapeake. This is a nonpartisan race. It's going to be May 19th now. You can do absentee. You can go in person. It's not partisan, but Don has been endorsed by the Republican Party of Chesapeake. So normally that gives you a leg up in Chesapeake. But Don, let me ask you this. We have 2 malls in Chesapeake. Both of them are dying, right? Greenbrier Mall, stores closing up every day. This is before the shutdown. And then you got the Chesapeake Square Mall in Western Branch, which it's a complete disaster. There just isn't anything in there. What is your plan for these 2 malls?
Well, if you look at what the current council has already done or has in the workings for both Greenbrier, I will also throw in the Summit Point project and for the Chesapeake Square malls. These areas are going to be revived. I don't see them being in the state they're in much longer. Mm-hmm. And that has come through a beautifully working public-private partnership between, businesses, entrepreneurs, and the current city council and the city leaders working together. So these 2 areas won't be the way they are much longer. And that's something that the current city council has already put in place.
How do you think you're going to get along with the other members? How do you get along with the mayor?
Right. So I have been setting down the foundation to run for city council for about 5 years. And I've been very intentional and blessed to be able to connect with all of the city council members, a lot of business leaders, a lot of leaders in the city in general, to be able to build a good working relationship. Now, personal relationship and let's call government business relationship are 2 different things. But I do think I've built a rapport with them and a comfortability there that if I'm blessed to be elected by the people of Chesapeake, that we can get some things done.
All right. Well, look, I'm excited that you're running. It sounds like interesting. Sometimes these races aren't that exciting. Let me ask you something about sitting council member on there now. Robert Ike has proposed a suspension in the B poll tax in Chesapeake until after businesses reopen. He's asked for a suspension for 12 months to give businesses a chance after whenever the governor decides that people can get back to work and small businesses can stave bankruptcy off or whatever the governor's doing. I have no earthly idea, and I don't think it's going to be May 8th. But Robert Ike has proposed a 1-year suspension of the B poll tax in Chesapeake. How do you stand on that?
So I think it's very important that we protect, the life of the citizens with the kind of the shutdown. But I also think that it's important that we protect this great economy that we have. Right? I don't think there's a dichotomy between the two. I think we're able to kind of walk and chew gum in this regard, and I'm looking forward to ways that we can figure out how to do that. I think Robert's proposal is a good start, and we'll see, what else comes from there.
Don Carey, did you in 2016 did you vote for Trump or Clinton?
I won't lie. I didn't vote for either. I was on the fence. But I think the important thing is in 2020, I will be voting for Trump.
All right. So you're going to vote for Trump in 2020, not Biden?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I'm not even 100% sure that Biden will be there. But I regardless of who the opponent is, I think Trump has done an amazing job. A lot of people complain about his rhetoric, and sometimes I understand it. But if you look at the body of work, I think he's done a great job.
Some people have said that you're not a real Republican. I don't know you well enough to have any opinion on that. You're in a nonpartisan race, so I don't really care one way or the other. But that's been one criticism. People saying, he's not really a Republican. He voted for Clinton. How do you answer that?
Well, firstly, I never voted for Clinton. I will say this. I understand the concerns that some individuals have, and I would let my actions moving forward answer that question.
But you're voting for Trump in 2020?
Yes.
Well, Don, that's good enough for me. I don't really care what you did in the past. I only care about what you're going to do in the future. And so that makes sense to me. Don Carey, thanks for being with us. Very storied career in the NFL. I mean, Don, think about it. How many people play in the NFL for a decade? What is the percentage? Like 10, 15%?
No, it's less than 3,000 people.
Unbelievable. So, I mean, you're one of 3,000 in NFL history, right?
Yep. Little over 27,000 people play in the NFL in its history. So I'm in unique category there.
Yeah, 10%. I just did it off the top of my head. I was about right. Don Carey, thanks for being with us. Good luck. We'll have you back before May 19th. And Don Carey running for City Council Chesapeake. That election, May 19th. Keep it right here in the John Fredericks Show.